It's like, holy shit, just start the fucking podcast already. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Knight Café. We're your hosts is Nathan Jones, otherwise known as the Hermit Druid, and Olive, the Harrow Mistress Pascal.
Hello!
Today, we are joined by our first special guest, hopefully of many, and I'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name's Jose, also known as Flooded Strands on the internet. I've been playing Magic since 2017 and Warhammer for the past 2 years now. And I like to play Orcs, play Death Guard, play Astra Militarum. Basically, green is best.
Definitely spoken as a true orc. But before we get any further into the topic, which today is going to be talking about tournament prep, I just want to show off a couple of things that we have been working on in the Discord. I finally have got a paint job that I don't want to throw across the room. And we also have Tamir working on some amazing noise marines. So is there anything that you two are working on painting right now?
Well, I am just currently trucking away on my Emperor's Children. I wanted to get them ready for the tournament this weekend. I really wanted to bring them. That is what the Discord voted on, was for me to bring the Emperor's Children there. I don't know if I'm going to get them done in time, unfortunately. I had to order whole new bases for my Seekers, and I think those bases aren't going to be showing up until the day before the tournament, which I don't think I'm going to be able to get done, so I think I have to pivot at this point to doing Alpha Legion, who was in second place. But
So does Alpha Legion all along?
there's Alpha Legion all along. It's fine.
What about you, Flooded?
Since I'm probably more than likely going to be playing Orcs real soon, I've been painting a lot of Orcs. Been painting a bunch of tank busters since that's the new hotness right now.
Yeah.
And also I'm probably gonna have to be painting real soon. I haven't started on them yet, but more boys. I do love me some chunky boys.
We actually saw the Alpha Legion featured last time on our last stream. That was a pretty great game. The Jonathan Skorpek Destroyer definitely earned a lot of its Crusade points that game. It absolutely just cleaned up.
Yeah. Part of the issue with using something like Alpha Legion Army in Crusade is it doesn't have secondary objectives. And so a lot of the tricksy shit Alpha Legion can do to get secondaries doesn't mean anything in Crusade. It's just about holding those primaries. And so if you have a Wrecking Ball come through your lines, it's like, oh boy.
Oh wow, I want to play Knights in Crusade.
Yeah, I know. You'll love it.
Just stand on the objectives and blast fucking loud music.
That's literally every Crusade game.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. We also got to test out a lot of our new camera views, which I think not only tested well with the Discord members, but I think look phenomenal. And I'm actually really excited to stepping behind the camera again for our next stream, which is going to be later on this month.
I have some new ideas for it, but most importantly, my new ideas revolve around fixing our audio issues. Getting those cleaned up.
Yeah, we're working on it. And well, since all of that is done and covered, let's hop into the main topic. And I think right off the bat, because we were just kind of alluding at it before, and I'd like to hear about it. How do you both choose an army? Because you're telling me about this this new hotness, these tank busters.
Tank busters, yeah. I like Orcs, so basically for when I'm choosing like an army for if I want to play like actual like really genuine competitive play. Usually I just go for what feels comfortable to play. I've been playing Orcs since I started playing Warhammer, and so that's what feels like at home. My other options would have been Death Guard, maybe Astra Militarum, but I feel that Orcs are in a position that are more inclined to be more balanced and have certain advantages against certain armies over Death Guard. Death Guard is strong, resilient, but it's also really slow. Also, they just had a codex come out, so I would have to relearn everything. And so I would just highlight the fact, just play what feels comfortable to play. In addition to that, you would use the units that you have. You don't want to necessarily chase the meta, because certain things can happen, like an emergency ban on the week that you're gonna start playing your new list. It happened to me with Mordaga. I was gonna run that Zagrot missile,
Oh gosh.
and then I wasn't, because I couldn't do it. And so don't chase the meta, because things like that can happen and it can end up feeling real bad, just not necessarily personally wise, but also like financially wise, because like, oh, you have this unit that you don't want it anymore. But yeah, so Tank Busters, I already had like the Kill Team box. I had already assembled Breaker Boys. And so now I switched that over to Tank Busters because those guys are real good in terms of killing, not necessarily vehicles, so that's their name would imply, but elite infantry. That's what they're really good for.
They're also just really cool models, honestly. I love the new Tank Busters.
Oh yeah, I love them.
I think there's a lot of to be like said about playing something that you kind of just touched on there that I'd like you to expand on. The playing understanding and like knowing what you're playing. Like the really nice way of saying it is, oh, play what you like. It's like, okay, that's the nice spin on it. But like, there's a lot to be said about playing something that you've had the reps in.
Play what you like, but also play what you know.
Play what you know, yeah. Like, and because if anybody spent any time in sports psychology or like understanding the kind of like gaming mentality, is you want to basically kind of jet yourself into a place where you're not putting so much mental load. You're not trying to remember all this new stuff. Because every time you're doing that, you're actually burning calories. You're wasting thoughts on that's going to take you away from like your main game plan or being able to react accordingly. All that time that you're adding to your cognitive load of trying to remember anything else is moments that you're actually not thinking about the game. You want to almost reach this flow-like state of action without thought so that you can put your thinking to other places. And like a lot of cases, this is being backed up by, what's his name from Art of War, just going in with the same Space Marine army every single time. Doesn't matter. So like I like to see that's kind of like the choice that you went with instead of trying to like chase what's like hype in that matter.
If you want people who feels comfortable to play, but you also want to play units that are answers to other stuff that are part of your meta. So basically, I know that I'm always gonna run my Beast Boss with 20 Beast Naga Boys because
Hmm.
that's my it's my answer to a lot of units that are just vehicles. Like I dealt like 20 devastating wounds to a Demon Russ on a game that I won on the tournament last tournament I played in.
How the heck are you doing that? How are you doing Mortal Wounds with Beast Snagga Boys? I actually don't know.
Devastating wounds. It's the Beast Boss. So what happens is I'm playing Warhorde. Warhorde, the attachment rule is get stuck in. Melee weapons equipped by orc models from your army have sustain hits 1.
Yep.
So I'm on the WOG, right? So
Mhm.
WOG, it adds +1 my attacks characteristics. So when you go to look at the Beast Boss, he has the Beast Chopper, which is 6 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 6, AP -1, 2 damage. So in the WOG, it's going to be 7 attacks, strength 7, which the strength isn't necessarily relevant. You're just looking for number of attacks.
Mhm.
So you pay CP for Unbridled Carnage, which means you're going to be dealing critical hits on 5s. And so that means your Beast Boss is going to be dealing sustained hits on a 5-up. In addition to that, the Beast Snagga Boys, they re-roll the hit roll against vehicles. So basically, I am gonna fish for 5s and 6s. And so from 7 attacks, I end up hitting you 12 times.
Yeah.
Because I've added 7 dice to the hit roll, or like 5 dices. And so he has anti-vehicle 4,
Oh
and
wow.
when he charges, he gets devastating wounds. And so, okay, now we go into the wound roll.
Yeah, that do
This is
it.
all rude.
Taking a lot of damage. And
Yeah,
so
This is
that's
personally
hilarious.
offensive.
it
No,
is it is very hilarious
this
when
is
when you just knock down Gilliman because like 100 points just
Get wrecked,
whoop,
Gilliman.
and then he stands back up and then he kills me, but it's
Oh.
fine.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. We got him down and that's what matters. But yeah, and also units you have, like I have my Gaskell, probably gonna play my Gaskell. I don't play with as much. If I were to chase the meta, which it's not something that I would want to do, I would probably be buying a lot more Storm Boys because a lot of people have been playing Tactical Brigade and they gain Battle Line, but I'm not as like well versed in Tactical. I am much more well versed in Warhorde.
Yeah.
yeah. At least acknowledging the meta and whatnot. If you're not going to play the meta list, you at least know what you're going to fight against, so you can prepare for that. So it's like you can't afford all these guys, or you can't afford, you don't want to buy all these guys. So just run something that you have that's really good against them.
Exactly. I bought 3 boxes of the Christmas holiday box they had because that was when I was basically just injecting more into starting my army, and so all of the units were good, or at least most of them were good. And so I have a lot of Beast Snagga boys that are probably going to be playing almost always.
Yeah, I when I got my Space Marines, I got a Gilliman, and I've been practicing with him recently.
If you're going to be building Blood Angels, what you could do is just say, oh, well, paint this Gilliman in Blood Angels colors and say that it's Sanguinius.
Well, we actually covered a lot of that in our last podcast about one of the reasons why I'm just creating a homebrew chapter is just so I have an excuse to play these dope ass rule sets on tabletop without actually having to run reboot Gilliman himself. So getting double Oath of Moment, it feels so good because you're gonna kill the first thing usually, right? Like that first thing is gonna probably die in shooting. So now being able to get to yeah, definitely a data sheet, but getting to take that out with trade of like 1/3 of the points. Good call.
Yeah.
Do you want to actually tell us a bit because you kind of mentioned about the tournaments that you played last week or the other week or something? Do you actually want to take a moment and talk to us just about the tournament scene in Puerto Rico?
Yeah. So I've been playing competitively, I think, for like past year, basically, or maybe like even less than a year. And so we started at top level games. That's the FLGS I play at. The first tournament, it was like just since it was the first tournament that was being run at the store, we can play 500 points. And so the one of the tournament organizers is a good friend of mine, and so I'm like, hey, play your favorite model. I don't care that it's in Legends now, just play it. And it was Captain Badrock. And let me tell you, Captain Badrock, there's a reason why he got sent to Legends. So when you look at the Flash Gits data sheet, Flash Gits are basically just proper orc shoot. That's what they are. They are 3 attacks, hitting on 5, strength 6, AP -1, 2 damage. But they have gun crazy show offs, which means that when it attacks the closest eligible unit, it has an attacks characteristics of 4. So when you're running 10 of them, it's 40 dice. What Captain Backrack does, he rerolls the hit roll, so at 500 points, he kind of stomps over. So top level, we've done like a lot of weeklies over there. I've played like orcs, played Death Guard, played Astra Militarum, and I even played the Crute Detachment one time, and it was pretty fun. And so we're trying to like start up this community of players that are trying to basically organize them and get them all ready for the big 1K tournament that's coming up in about 2 weeks now, which is what I'm going to be playing orcs in. And so it's a 2,000 points tournament where the top 8 splits $1,000.
Ooh,
So
nice.
it's a big tournament, and everybody's gonna have to bring their A game, and it's 2,000 points, 5 rounds. The good thing is that you can ask for the clock, so we're not just like zombies at the end of the day. And so we've been also trying to start up the community at other stores. There's Titan Games in Caguas in Puerto Rico, and Star Games over in Mocha. I've That's where I won that's where the picture with the trophy is. It was the qualifier for the 1K tournament. If you won that, you get the free entry. So I don't have to pay for my entry for the big 1K tournament. And so you have like a lot of different armies. The only armies I haven't seen being played is like Death Watch or like maybe even G Stealer cults, but I've seen Tyranids, I've seen Space Marines, I've seen Astra Militarum, I've seen other Death Guard players, I've seen demons. There's like a lot of players that are just basically coming out of the woodwork that are like, oh yeah, I've had these models for years, but there hasn't been like very many big tournaments that I've seen in Puerto Rico, or they've just been like gate kept and we haven't known anything about it, basically.
Build it and they will come.
That's the exact point. Yeah, and so we've been very vocal about starting this community and everybody getting to know each other, and it's all in good fun, basically. A lot of
Hell
proper
yeah.
enemies, because good
I,
enemies is hard to find.
yeah, I'm currently pulling up Google to see about the flights to Puerto Rico because I want to come down with my knights.
Oh yeah, we can definitely get like 1 or 5 games in.
Yeah. Depends on how the knights are rolling at that time.
Of course, of course. we do have an American player that plays like just all chaos, and he has chaos knights. So it'd be cool to see like the battle of the big mechs, Imperial Knights versus Chaos Knights. That'd be fun to see.
Yeah, that is the one game situation where I absolutely lock the fuck in. It's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna kill you on the tabletop, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's all in good fun.
So why do you
Well,
play the three armies that you play, the green ones? How do you feel that they do into the scene there, or is it just the fact that that's what you play, or was there any choice of those, or
well, I first started with orcs. I'm gonna be honest, it was because of the memes. I love the orc memes, like
yeah, same.
like the Imperial Guard or like the Space Marine sergeant just shoots at the orc, but he says instead of shooting, he says bang, and the orc dies. Hilarious.
Yeah,
Orc painted his bike purple, and now it's invisible and you can't see it anymore. Things like that. And so bit by bit, I started building my orcs collection, and so I started realizing, oh, these guys are pretty good in melee. And so you start to learn the melee side of the game. Death Guard, it's just that I wanted to play something different with a little bit more shooting, because proper orc shooting, it's at most you're hitting on a 4-up.
yeah. Until
Uh,
they give you sustained hits too.
until they give me sustained hits too. Yeah. God, I miss
That's
those days.
yeah. I'm glad that was real short. Anyways,
Yeah.
Death Guard.
Yeah, Death Guard, it's just that I was planning to play something different. I was like, well, I think I like these guys. They're Nurgle. They are really resilient, and they have like a lot of like stacks. I kind of reminds me of like playing against like a stacks list in Magic, right? Because like
Almost Pox.
even worse than Pox. It's like full on stacks. Oh, you have a -2 to hit roll because of this rule and this rule, or you have a -1 to your save, or X or Y. Or like -1 to the damage is kind of cracked as well.
Yeah, I hate that one.
So yeah, so play a lot of Death Guard. I've like started my collection a little bit. I painted Mortarion a few months ago. Finally, since I knew the Codex was probably come out, I have to paint my Guo, my Great Unclean one, Big Tubby. My home brew is Viridis Belphegor. It's the name of that demon. It's a great and clean one that just mops up the floor with any infantry you put it up against. And I also played Tau for a bit because that was lent to army. I wanted to like, you know what, just play something different. Play Crude Detachment at 500 points. It was pretty strong. And I also skipped Astra Military. I'm sorry. So yeah, I Astra is because it was an army of opportunity. I started like investing like a little bit, but it's an army that's essentially shared amongst the three friends, and now it becomes super affordable. I've only bought like a Lehman Russ or two Lehman Russes, and the box that came out with the Codex and maybe like a unit. I bought and a Rogaldorn, and that's it basically. I like the orders aspect. It's basically an army that it answers almost everything. Oh, your last guns are 3 strength, AP 1 damage. Well, good thing you have lethal hits against any infantry. Oh, your Chimera is only like 5 strength, sustain hits 1, an AP -1, 2 damage. Well, you have lethal hits against monsters and vehicles. You have orders. You have like, oh well, I'm trying to out OC you. Well, okay, duty and honor.
I have to say, if there's one army that I got to like at this point where it's kind of looking where I could, had the finances to not just kind of like get what I get and make it happen. I was up late last night looking at Guard. I like tanks. If everybody who's played against my tabletop, my Space Marine, my first army is Knights, and that is basically walking tanks. My Space Marine army I've been playing on TTS is 9 Dreadnoughts and a Reboot Guilliman. So it's basically fucking tanks. And now I like this Imperial Guard is just sitting there, and I'm like,
You're gonna want to play Hammer of the Emperor, huh?
oh my god. Yeah, I'll fucking give you the hammer of the emperor. Yeah, no,
I've
there's just something to be said about the good old, like, ours is not to question why, ours is but to do and die. I really love the guard play style of, like, again, as you're saying, like, oh, like, it really answers anything because just point a large battle cannon in the direction of whatever it is and remove that direction. And, like, the troop play and all of it, it's like, oh, yeah, it's like these las guns suck, but, like, I don't know, here's like 120 men that are going to be firing like at you, and you know what? Math, weight of dice, just
Yeah.
like there's just and like it's very visceral of like a style of warfare that did and does exist, and like the narrative of everything of the guard, of just like, you know, all these space marines and whatnot that are running around like, oh, you guys don't like having these big drama fests and falling to chaos and like fucking up all these other things, and like, oh, nobody understands us, while like Bob, Jim, Doug, and Sally with a flashlight are standing right next to this emo bastard, like outside of a power suit. I really like guard. Sorry to interject in that one. Please
No,
continue.
no, yeah, it's fine. It's completely fine. Yeah, I like guard too, but I hate playing against guard. It's such a like you have to bring your A game against guard because they will like overrun you because their units are so cheap. They can be everywhere and anywhere at the same time.
It's like if Tyranids actually had shooting units and bigger guns. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, the only thing it doesn't have is like melee. The melee aspect of guard is not that great. But even still, if you just need to be on an objective, just run 20 guys with gas masks on them, and they'll stand on the objective all day long.
Yes, they will. Because ours is not to question why. Ours is but to do and die.
Yeah.
Actually, because we were talking about TTS and whatnot, how do you guys practice? I know Olive, you and your partner get to practice in the garage a lot where we film.
Yeah. I mean, I do much prefer playing in person, but I also don't have, like, tournament-specific terrain. So sometimes it is better to get on TTS because, again, my boards are also bigger than standard tournament boards these days because, again, I am a legacy player, so all my stuff is on, is geared for older editions, basically. I also... Do we mind if we go back to a previous topic real
Oh, yeah,
quick?
sure, we can hop back.
Well, so you were asking Jose about why he chooses his specific faction. I wanted to pipe in there.
Please, yes.
Okay. All right. So for me, I unfortunately am locked into some of my armies. So like everyone knows me as the Tyranids player, but my Tyranids army is so old that many of the models are on the wrong size base nowadays. Like my Biovores are on the wrong size base. Half of my Gaunts are on the wrong size base. All my Hormagaunts are on the wrong size base. My Warriors are even on the wrong size base these days because they went up to like 50 mil bases from 40 mil, and no one even told me until I found out like recently. And it would be such a massive undertaking to rebase that many models that I'm kind of at the point of like, if I want to do Tyranids in tournament, I think I have to buy more Tyranids. I can't use my old models. I think I'd have to update them to newer ones, which is why I focus more on bringing my Alpha Legion into tournaments, because I do have almost as much experience playing them, and they're fun, and they have a lot of answers to different things to get the job done. Like you were saying, Jose, having a counter to like proper meta stuff and everything is always important to bring into an army. And Chaos Space Marines, they're really good at everything. They have some of the best infantry in the game right now.
There's also other armies that you're playing as well, and also armies that you might be looking into playing. And I'd like you to hear talk a little bit more about that, because you actually expanded your army with the acquisition of the EC box.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to bring EC to a tournament at some point. I like this Carnival of Excess detachment. I think it's weird and fun. I just need to, once again, this is a case of I don't think I'm going to have enough time this week to actually finish the army in time. And part of me wants to pivot to Alpha Legion because it's something I'm familiar with, and play what you like, play what you know. But also, I technically have Trader Guard waiting in the wings, ready to go with Hammer of the Dark Gods, or whatever I want to call the detaching, because it's definitely not Hammer of the Emperor. I just haven't played that army enough that I think I'm comfortable with it to actually like bring it to a tournament. But I don't know, I might do it. If I get some practice in it with it this week, I might very well do it, because it's gorgeous and I want to show it off.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fucking terrifying. If we're being honest, I actually had one of the guys I had taken a coaching from a while ago. I was showing him the 9 dreadnoughts and Reboot Gilliman, and he's just like, he often promotes dreadnoughts on his channel,
Mhm.
VF Miniatures. He loves dreadnoughts. He's a proponent of a triple ballistis dreadnought or triple redemptor dreadnought in every fucking list. But that even so, I'm like, hey, look, check this shit out. And he's just like, dog, gee, my guy, that looks fucking miserable to play against. And then the next picture that was in our chat was what you sent me
Oh yeah.
of the trader guard, and he just replies was like, oh, that's what you're playing against? Never mind.
Hilarious.
Well, my reply to that was actually about a 15-second audio clip of me in full fox laughter, just absolutely cackling because he's Russian, so he's very fucking monotone and straightforward. And then the second one was just like, oh, never mind.
Oh god. Now dang it, I really want to practice with that army now. Oh god, it would be really stupid to bring that on Saturday.
If you ever have a problem in the East, remove the fucking East.
Yeah. Oh wait, there's enemies in that direction. Oh, copy that. Remove that direction.
It's just like, I don't want to think about that direction. Can someone just fucking get rid of that direction for me so I can focus over here? Everything that's there, stop it. That's generally what I have to apply the Lancer. It's just like, okay, I don't want to think about over there. Lancer, get rid of that thing for me, please. I don't know how to deal with it, so Lancer.
All right, yeah.
Where were we?
Yeah, what topic did we get to? You're the one who has
practicing.
The
We're talking about practicing.
We're
Actually,
talking
this is
about
a phenomenal segue. This is a phenomenal segue.
Nice. Jose, did you already talk
about
about practicing? I forget.
No.
All right, you talk.
No, we
you go
started
first.
with you.
Oh, okay. I'm starting with practicing.
Yeah, we started with you.
Okay, cool.
How are you going to practice with this Hammer of the Emperor?
I mean, I could practice here at home, honestly. Although, like I said, my terrain is a little different than what is expected for tournament play. I think I would prefer to practice online with it because it'll be more similar to the experience. And maybe I'll just challenge people on the server with it. Cause yeah, now I'm really liking the idea of bringing it. Cause I mean, I could bring Alpha Legion and probably do really well, but can't keep bringing the same thing every time. I'm going to the same location that I went to a previous time for a tournament, so it'd be nice to bring something else, change it up some. I think I'll probably be practicing over TTS just so I can get the proper terrain layouts and everything.
What about you, bud?
Yeah.
Well, practicing, we usually practice in IRL play. We play at the shop almost every weekend. It's since we have a crusade, it's kind of hard to like. Well, I want to play crusade, but I also want to practice, and so it's like a team crusade, and so it's like, well, everybody wants you to play crusade, but I also want to practice as well. So I'm trying to schedule like a practice session with one of my good friends that is also like a big brain Warhammer player named Tom. Shout out Tom. And so we usually either play in at the shop whenever we can, but if we can't during the week, best option would be Tabletop Simulator. It's best finite option when like you get out of work at 6, shop closes at 9. You don't have time to play 2,000 points game in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Not even in 3 hours, like in an hour. It's insane.
Jose, we should play. We should play this week. Do a practice game.
Yeah, I was about to say you should just go. You should just grind a few games and start practicing.
We should probably yeah.
I need to see what Beast Naga boys can do to a Baneblade.
To a Baneblade.
It's not a Baneblade. It's a Hellhammer, but it's the Baneblade profile.
It's the Baneblade profile, yeah. So to a Baneblade, I don't think it could take it out in a charge. It would. It also depends on if you have the tech marine or like the tech priest nearby.
I do.
That has to die first.
Yep.
Like that is the character that you have to kill first, and then the Baneblade becomes so much worse because it doesn't have the invulnerable save.
Mm-hmm.
And at least it can't gain orders. That's the good part about the Baneblade. Since it doesn't have any of the 2 keywords, it can't receive orders. I haven't played against the Baneblade, but I'm hoping that it will be a fun experience.
Minor tangent here. I have a Valkyrie in that list just because I really like my Valkyrie model. I know they aren't good. I should probably replace it with a Knight, honestly. I could replace it with an Armiger, and it would probably do way better But I don't know. Part of me just wants to see the A Valkyrie do something. It could be cool.
Armature's fuck.
Yeah, I know. Like, a Valkyrie is 190 points, an Armiger is 140, and it's going to do way more work than the Valkyrie ever will. Like,
The
yeah.
Morden Glory had an entire video on should we just be running a couple Armigers every now and again?
They're too good.
They're real good, and the price, the point drop on that was a big old nobody fucking asked for this.
Yeah.
My opinion on that is that dropping the points on if they drop the points too much on big knights, we're going to end up with like the meta of 4 big knights on the table that nobody can fucking answer usually, which is what was a tournament winning list for a while. However, I don't know how that one wins because like I play against you, so I would just like get destroyed on points and just not be able to move anywhere. You know what I mean? That being said, they don't want to. They're trying to give us more room, I feel, but by dropping the armatures on an already extremely efficient profile doesn't mean that people are going to slot in bigger knights. It means that people are just going to play Chaos War Dogs.
Yeah.
That being said, that's what I want to play. I love that shit. I'm like, all armatures and a Lancer. I'm like, oh, good, because I'm looking at this Baneblade here. It was the same. I was playing against a game against my buddy Tamir, or one of our, my friend Tamir, and he finally brought enough firepower.
Did he win?
No.
Aw. Come on, Tamir, one day.
He definitely brought the firepower that game with like almost like World Eater's mechanized armor list, including a fucking Lord of Skulls. And it was a big old like I don't know how to answer this. Send in the fucking Lancer. The Lancer ended up connecting with everything. 5 hits, 5 wounds, 40 fucking damage.
Yeah, that thing's awful.
Yeah, I love that guy. Oh man, I love that fucking unit so much. Shout out Nate.
Another tangent. I saw yesterday. He's one of the 40k VTubers. He had to go up against 150 Poxwalkers, and I started doing the math in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, I could literally bring 200 gaunt-sized infantry models to a game, including 2 Turvagons to give them lethal hits against Nathan, just to upset him. That is a legal 2,000-point army.
I don't know if you're gonna win, but it's definitely gonna be upsetting.
No, the reason to bring it wouldn't be the win; it would just be to upset you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you still win. You still fucking win. I'm just gonna be sitting there giving you the look the entire time.
It's not a good army, but it's an upsetting one.
It's very upsetting.
Anyway, sorry. That's my tangent. Sorry,
yeah.
Jose, have at it.
No, it's fine. Basically, for practice, just gotta like it's a different type of game. We're just like we talk a lot of stuff out, Like, okay, so probability wise, I could probably kill that, or my secondaries are gonna be this and this, so I could probably just do that and that. And we can just like talk with my opponent, like if we're practicing. Okay, so what do you think is best? Like, how do you help me beat you? So something that won't happen at a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Since it's meant for practice. Practice makes perfect, or in this case, practice improves. So the goal of a practice is not to win. You don't have to bring cutthroat person out. You have to bring the student in you and just figure out, okay, I have to like sharpen up my mental blade of like the rules, interactions, like recently it was can units arrive from strategic reserves or reserves in a transport, and can they disembark?
They can.
I recently learned that, and I shat my pants because, like, it was in that Crusade game, Morgan Raw riding in a prism. Uh, Prism has deep strike, so everybody inside is gonna just like pop out, like boop, and then they pop out, and it's like, what? What do you mean? Come again?
Now they're there.
And now they're there. It's things like that, like wacky rules interactions that are very like niche is what we sharpen our mental blade for in practice. But basically, that usually happens in IRL play or on tabletop. We're gonna get a tabletop game. I just know it, Olive.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Well, we're trying to make Commander Sealed happen. I was going to try and sponsor you to get up there if I could, but unfortunately, I do not have a job anymore. So we're still going to try and figure what the hell if we can get that, what we
Fundraiser
can
time.
do about that.
Fundraiser time.
Yeah, it might be a fundraiser time. I know we have got some stuff in the wings planned about that because we'd like to get people up to, especially because we're going to be attending Commander Sealed, which. Well, it's called Commander Sealed. Why are you playing Warhammer there? And it's because the last tabletop game that you and I played was actually in the courtyard of the Commander Sealed, where it's a very much a community event. So like, there's things of people in there, but a bunch of us decided to bring our Warhammer minis and jam games in the courtyard because it's super nice out there, and there was no point in being inside on a weekend like that. But now they have given us a Sunday stream, which we're going to be doing for fundraising for the Trevor Project and Trans Lifeline. We personally, I believe, are representing Trans Lifeline because they operate in Canada, and this is a topic near and dear to at least my heart. So, yeah. Anyways, I think that's actually a really good point to maybe jump off for all of us. Thank you again for joining us, Jose. Thank you very much for giving us an insight on the way that you practice and play, your favorite armies, and a little bit about the scene in Puerto Rico. If you'd like to tell everybody where they can follow you to keep up on this information, where would that be?
Well, you could find me at Flooded Strands on Blue Sky, as well as Instagram for now. You could usually post once a day, every day on Monday to Thursday at least for the brothers gym war that I currently have with my brothers. Just
Mm-hmm.
going to the gym, just improving our overall fitness and strength. I like powerlifting. It helps the body and the mind.
Yes.
As well as just talking about either Warhammer, Magic, or whatever I'm painting on. Usually you could find that on the Instagram as well.
Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. This has been the Knight Café featuring Olive Pascal and the Hermit Druid and Flooded Strands. Hope to see you next time and see you on our streams.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It was great to be here.
Great to have
Cheers.
you.